time, we're thinking that that's her husband, Jack Brooksbank. It turns out, guess who that mystery man was the whole time?
Was it Meghan's guy?
It was Markus Anderson.
Markus Anderson, yeah.
Why is she having dinner with Markus Anderson, and why is he then going home with Meghan and Harry?
It's January 2026, and the photos everyone's been whispering about for years just exploded back into the spotlight. Meghan Markle with Markus Anderson. Again, and again, and again. At Soho House events, Paris Fashion Week, even Disneyland with her kids. The man who controls who gets into the world's most exclusive clubs is always right there next to Meghan. And now people are asking the question nobody wanted to ask before. What exactly is the relationship between Meghan Markle and the man who introduced her to Prince Harry? Because here's what nobody can explain. Meghan is never photographed alone at Soho House. Not once. Always with Markus Anderson by her side, the man who decides who gets membership, the man who arranged her first date with Harry, the man who shows up at her baby shower, her wedding, her family trips. And Nick Jones, the founder of Soho House, knows exactly what happened in those private rooms and exclusive parties. So buckle up tight, because the photos tell a story Meghan never wanted public. And it's all about access, ambition, and a connection that raises every red flag imaginable.
Actually attended the garden party and overheard something Meghan said to Harry. So after about 15 minutes talking to guests and being charming, Meghan turned to Harry, and I quote from Lady C's book, "Harry, this is really boring."
Let me break down what Soho House actually is. This is the most exclusive private members network in the world. Locations in London, New York, Toronto, LA, everywhere that matters. You can't just pay for membership. You need sponsorship from existing members. You need approval. And who decides who gets in? Markus Anderson, Global Membership Director. He started as a waiter and worked his way up to become Nick Jones's right-hand man. The guy who personally crafts guest lists for celebrity parties. The guy who decides which actors, which models, which wealthy people get access. Nick Jones founded Soho House in 1995, built it into a global empire worth billions. But here's his rule about membership. He said publicly, "We try not to give membership to people who would fuel paparazzi or bring press." You know who got denied membership? Kim Kardashian, Kobe Bryant, actual global superstars. Too much press attention. Soho House didn't want them.
Hi, Queenie said it best. It's downright bizarre that a man, gay or straight, constantly clings to a family like Markus Anderson does with Harry, Meghan, and their kids. He is like a parasite, always lurking in their shadow.
So explain to me how Meghan Markle, a cable TV actress on Suits making $50,000 an episode, got access to Soho House locations worldwide. How did she become a regular when bigger names got rejected? One answer: Markus Anderson, the man who controls the guest list. And Meghan became very close friends with the gatekeeper. You see what I'm saying? This wasn't random. This was strategic. Meghan befriended the one person who could give her access to rooms full of wealthy, powerful, connected people. And that access changed her entire life. Let's talk about the photographs, because these aren't innocent friend photos. These are pictures that show a level of closeness that makes people uncomfortable. December 2014. Meghan and Markus at an event. She's got a huge glass of wine, her arm wrapped around his back. Markus is trying to get his face as close to hers as possible. The body language screams intimacy. June 2016, 1 month before Meghan meets Harry. Toronto Gala. Markus in a blue tux, Meghan in a little black dress. His arm is firmly around her waist. The photos have an undeniably flirtatious quality. This is 1 month before she supposedly meets Harry for a blind date.
Why Meghan Markle's best friend, who set her up with Prince Harry, has vanished. Whatever happened to Meghan's best friend Markus Anderson? The tall, handsome Canadian was third wheel in the early days of her romance with Prince Harry, and he was front and center at their 2018 wedding.
September 2017, Invictus Games in Toronto. Meghan's sitting with Markus, their knees bumping together in the arena seats. Harry's there too, but the photo shows Meghan gazing at Markus with a huge smile, while Harry stares into the distance looking uncomfortable. October 2025, Paris Fashion Week, the photo that went viral recently. Meghan and Markus holding hands walking through Paris. Not arm in arm like casual friends, holding actual hands like couples do. Social media exploded. Does no one else find this weird? Where's Harry? June 2025 Disneyland family trip for Lilibet's 4th birthday. Guess who's in the family photos? Markus Anderson. Meghan actually used a heart emoji to cover his face in the Instagram post. Why? If he's just an innocent friend, why hide his identity? Here's what blows my mind. Meghan has never been photographed solo at Soho House. Not once in all these years. She's always with Markus Anderson, Misha Nonu, or Harry. Why? Because according to Soho House rules, guests must stay by the member's side the entire time, which means Meghan wasn't a member. She was Markus Anderson's guest, every single time.
And so for Harry himself, he's now, in many people are suggesting, trapped. And as his mother famously said in that line, it's difficult because there's 3 of us in this marriage. History, truly, according to that source, is repeating itself. Harry is very much sort of whatever is suggested, he has to go along with it.
Nick Jones stepped down as Soho House CEO in November 2022 after a prostate cancer diagnosis. But he remained involved in the creative and membership aspects. He knows everything that happened in his clubs, every party, every private room, every arrangement. And here's what insiders say about Soho House. It's not just a club. It's a networking machine designed specifically to connect ambitious people with wealth and power. The business model is creating private spaces where deals happen, relationships form, connections get made away from cameras. Nick Jones owns Babington House, the countryside location where Harry and Meghan had their early dates. Sources say Markus Anderson coordinated those meetings, arranged the logistics, made sure everything stayed private. That's not normal friend behavior, that's professional facilitation. And Babington House has a reputation. Behind the traditional walls and fireplaces, insiders describe it as having what they call an edgy atmosphere. A place where networking happens at levels beyond business cards and handshakes. Let me walk you through how Harry and Meghan actually met, because the official story doesn't add up. Royal biographer Katie Nicole documented what really happened. Harry asked Markus Anderson if he could set up an opportunity for Harry and Meghan to meet. That happened in a private room at Soho House, London in July 2016.
Meghan Markle's best friend vanishes from inner circle amid Netflix struggles. Meghan Markle is reportedly facing a reshuffle in her inner circle as her new Netflix show With Love Meghan, which was launched earlier this month, faced mixed reactions. So how many times have we heard Meghan Markle having a best friend? We've had Jessica Mulroney, Serena Williams. So every time Meghan has a friend, they're a best friend.
There were 7 or 8 people there total. Perfect for Harry and Meghan to talk without pressure. But here's what nobody discusses. Harry went to Markus Anderson specifically to arrange this meeting. Why? Because Markus had the connections, the venues, the ability to make it happen discreetly. And Markus already knew Meghan very well. Think about that dynamic. Markus facilitates the meeting between his close friend, Meghan, and Prince Harry, then continues being involved in their relationship, arranging dates at Babington House, providing private spaces through Soho House locations, acting as what people call Meghan's fixer. What's a fixer? Someone who makes things happen behind the scenes, someone who opens doors that would otherwise stay closed. That's Markus Anderson's role.
To what now would seem to be a very reasonable position of not believing a word coming out of Meghan Markle's mouth about my royal family. Now, most people now agree with me about the veracity of what comes out of her mouth. But at the time, this was deemed so controversial that my company, rather than defending my right to free speech, the network said, you've either apologize for disbelieving her or you have to leave.
Here's the reality Meghan faced in her Suits years. She was a cable TV actress. Not famous, not wealthy, not connected to elite circles. She had ambition, but no access. Then she befriended Markus Anderson. Suddenly she's traveling to Europe, attending exclusive parties, meeting wealthy people, getting invited to events a working actress shouldn't be able to access. How? Because Markus Anderson's job is connecting people. His entire career is built on knowing who matters and introducing the right people to each other. When Meghan entered his circle, she entered a network that spans the globe.
And a whole lot of eyebrow-raising tales. So when Meghan found a way there, it's hardly surprising that she felt right at home. Soho House isn't just a club, it's a scene, a network, a place where Hollywood hopefuls rub shoulders with high society heavyweights, or
Toronto Soho House, London Soho House, LA Soho House. Everywhere Meghan went, Markus Anderson's network opened doors. That's not friendship, that's professional facilitation. And the question becomes, what did Meghan provide in return for all that access? Look at Meghan's trajectory. Cable actress becomes Soho House regular. Soho House regular meets Prince Harry through Soho House connection, marries into royal family. That's not luck. That's strategy executed perfectly, with help from someone who knew exactly how to make it happen. Fast forward to today. Years after the royal wedding, years after leaving royal life, Markus Anderson is still there, still showing up, still in the photos.
I got this direct message from Meghan Markle.
A private message?
Yeah. And it said, hey, I'm a big fan, and I'm so excited you're following me. And this is
said to you?
This was about 3 years ago. And I replied, and we corresponded quite regularly on Twitter.
At the royal wedding in 2018, guest list. At the New York baby shower in 2019, front and center, Paris Fashion Week, October 2025. Holding hands, Disneyland, June 2025. On the family vacation, he's described as the second most important man in Meghan's life. Think about that phrasing. Second most important? After Harry? Before her own family? This man from Soho House who facilitated her entire rise. Sources close to the Sussexes say Markus is uncomfortable in the spotlight. That's why he wasn't in the Netflix documentary. That's why Meghan covered his face with an emoji at Disneyland.
Oh, the reaction around the world has been extraordinary. Piers Morgan posted on X, "We're about 2 months away from the sex tape."
But here's what I find fascinating. If this is an innocent friendship, why hide it? Why cover his face? Why keep him out of documentaries? Why not just say, "This is my good friend Markus, we've known each other for years"? The secrecy creates suspicion, the constant presence creates questions, and the photos create a narrative Meghan can't control. Look at the photos of Harry when Markus is around. September 2017, Invictus Games. Harry's looking miserable while Meghan gazes adoringly at Markus. Harry looks like he's realizing something uncomfortable about the dynamic. Sources say there's tension, that Harry doesn't understand why Markus is always there, why Meghan needs him at family events.
It's possible that they just really want a private existence for their kids. And while I've always thought that Meghan potentially was not actually pregnant, I had initially believed that the child was real.
But what can Harry say? Markus introduced them. Markus facilitated their early relationship. Markus has been part of Meghan's life longer than Harry has. Objecting to Markus means questioning the entire foundation of how they met. Harry's trapped. If he pushes back on Markus, he's questioning Meghan's closest friendship. If he accepts it, he's accepting another man having unprecedented access to his wife and family. And remember, Harry left his entire family for Meghan, destroyed relationships with William and Charles. If doubts are creeping in about Meghan's connections and loyalties, what does that mean for everything Harry sacrificed? Let me connect the dots on what Soho House really gave Meghan. It wasn't just fancy parties and nice venues. It was access to networks of wealthy, powerful, connected people who could change her life.
When the song come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mama, this shot song been pregnant for way too long. I tell the DJ turn it off, turn it off.
If your baby mama, she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon' put it on you.
Ron Burkle, billionaire investor heavily involved with Soho House, someone Meghan would have encountered through that network. Misha Nonu, fashion designer, Soho House regular, who Meghan became close with. Jessica Mulroney, stylist connected to Canadian elite, part of the Toronto Soho House scene. Serena Williams, member who became Meghan's friend. All of these connections flowed through Soho House. All of them came from Markus Anderson's network. And all of them helped elevate Meghan from struggling actress to woman who could credibly date a prince. That's the value Markus Anderson provided. Not just friendship, access, networks, opportunities. And Meghan used that access brilliantly. But what did it cost? What did she give in return? Because people like Markus Anderson don't invest that kind of time and energy without reason. These photos going viral in late 2025 matter because they show the relationship never ended. Years after the wedding, years after leaving royal life, Markus Anderson is still the constant presence. That raises questions about loyalty, about who Meghan's really connected to, about whether her royal marriage was the goal or just a step in a longer strategy.
I'm joking. This is very important. Now, the Rwanda scheme, it seems, was cruelly abandoned. We know it was impetuously axed by this funny little man who's our Prime Minister on day one. It's just a gimmick. It's a gimmick. And he axed it on day one.
Think about it. Meghan got access to royal family through Markus Anderson's Soho House network. Used that platform to build global fame. Then left royal life, but kept the fame and kept Markus Anderson. What does that tell you about priorities? It tells you Markus Anderson's network was always more important than the royal family. The Soho House connections were the real prize. Harry was the vehicle to get there. And now Meghan's building her California empire with Markus still by her side, still making introductions, still providing access, still playing the same role he played in Toronto 10 years ago. Nick Jones attended Harry and Meghan's wedding. He's remained publicly silent about Meghan's years in Soho House. He's never given interviews exposing what happened in those private rooms, but his silence speaks volumes.
The time when he comes over here, doesn't it? When Harry comes over here, everybody goes, right, well, he's only 3.5 miles away from this one and that one, but they're not meeting up.
It's tantalising. It was 7 miles apart.
Was it indeed?
You need to know.
Right.
And obviously everyone's got into a big state about how close this is and how tantalising, and they could have seen each other. But
because Nick Jones knows everything, knows who attended which parties, knows what arrangements Markus Anderson made, knows how Meghan went from guest to Duchess using his venues as the launch pad. He's protecting his brand. Soho House sells discretion, privacy. If Nick Jones started talking about Meghan's years in his clubs, nobody would trust Soho House privacy again. So he stays quiet, attends the wedding, maintains the friendship, protects his business. But he knows. And Markus Anderson knows. And Meghan knows. The photos exist, the timeline is documented, the access is undeniable, and the relationship continues despite every reason it should have ended.
Okay, so Markus, him, and E go back very, very far. So I see this picture and I see that it's 2014, and Ben goes, had such a fun night with this wonderful lady, Meghan Markle, last night. Thanks, Markus Anderson.
Here's what nobody can explain. Why is Markus Anderson still so involved in Meghan's life? Years after introducing her to Harry, what role is he still playing? He's not her employee, he's not her manager, he's not her business partner officially, but he's at family vacations, he's holding hands at Paris Fashion Week. He's described as second most important man in her life. What is that relationship? Because it's not normal friendship. Friends don't maintain that level of involvement across continents, across years, across massive life changes. The only explanation that makes sense is Markus Anderson knows things, has information, maintains power over Meghan's narrative because he was there for all of it. The Toronto years, the Soho House parties, the networking with wealthy men, the strategic positioning that led to Harry. He's insurance. He's the keeper of secrets. He's the person who can confirm or deny what really happened in those years before Harry. And Meghan keeps him close because letting him drift away means losing control of that narrative. The reason these photos keep going viral is because the relationship doesn't make sense. The explanation doesn't match the evidence.
You know, worth it. Remember?
I'm a real mom.
But you know what it got me thinking about? Meghan and Harry's travel safe obsession. Now, of course, we should all travel safe. That's a relatively normal thing to say. No big deal. Not trying to make mountains out of molehills or anything like that. Not like the Meg does.
If Markus is just a friend, why the hand-holding? Why the constant presence? Why at family events? Why covered in photos? If it's innocent, why the secrecy? Why not just be open about the friendship? The more Meghan tries to keep Markus Anderson in the shadows while keeping him in her life, the more suspicious it looks, the more questions it raises. And Nick Jones knows the answers. Markus Anderson knows the answers. Meghan knows the answers. But none of them are talking. Because talking means revealing how a cable TV actress used exclusive club access to network her way into elite circles and ultimately into the royal family. That's not the fairy tale Meghan sold the world. That's calculated ambition executed through strategic relationships with powerful men who controlled access. The photos tell that story. Meghan with Markus in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2019, 2025. A decade of being by his side. A decade of him opening doors. That's not random. That's not friendship.
We don't know if a meeting is definitely going to take place. We do know the Duke of Sussex is very keen to see his father. I think the key issue is that if any details of this meeting, should it go ahead, are leaked to the media, that could compromise a reconciliation, because what I'm told is at the heart of all of this.
That's a partnership that changed Meghan's entire life and continues to define it years later. And the truth about what happened in those Soho House private rooms, that's the story Nick Jones knows but will never tell. Because protecting that secret protects Meghan, protects Markus, and protects the Soho House brand. But the photos don't lie, and they're not going away. Neither is Markus Anderson. And neither are the questions about what really connected a struggling actress to the man who would introduce her to a prince.